It's the weekly show about pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary. Steph and Gary.
Hey, Steph, how are you?
Good, Gary. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well. Good morning, everyone. This is Gary Kayye and Steph Beckett. This is our live weekly TV show known as rAVe TV. Comes to you live every Wednesday at 9 a.m. and we restream at noon every Wednesday. So for those of you on the West Coast, we know you're not up at 6 a.m. And for the benefit of those in Europe, Steph, and which, by the way, I got a lot of great feedback at CEDIA from European integrators. And I was at the Exertis Almo show yesterday, and the folks from the UK said, thank you for changing the time. So there are people in Europe watching it. That's a good thing, right? The UK is at 2 p.m.
Well,
and
if people in general watch this, I am pleased and happy as can be. So
me too.
From wherever you are in the world.
And we, we come to you live on ravepubs.com, on YouTube at youtube.com/ravepubs, of course, which is our channel. And then on all the socials, except today, in observance of 9/11, we're not broadcasting on social media. So those of you who are watching this now randomly, possibly on Thursday, it's because we didn't broadcast this live on Wednesday when we normally broadcast it in observance of 9/11. So Steph, how old were you then? You old enough to remember?
Yeah, I was in second grade. I was like 7 or 8. So yeah, old enough to remember.
And did they? Because you were in the same grade as Annabelle, then my daughter Annabelle, because I remember the school sending us a message saying they weren't going to tell the kids anything. They were going to let the parents tell the kids. But did you know about it when you were in school, or did you find out?
Oh, yeah. Annabelle must have went to a nicer elementary school than me, because the teachers were not hiding anything. They were all freaking out. Like, a teacher came and banged on my teacher's door, and then my teacher leaves and they're whispering, and then my teacher runs back in and turns on the TV. So all of the people in my class watched it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, not traumatizing at all for a 7-year-old to experience.
I think it's traumatizing for everyone to live through, no matter who,
for sure,
what age and stuff. But it's so apparently it's a thing on social media that everyone's going to observe it by not participating in social media today, which is perfectly fine with us. Give our social team a rest, but we do appreciate y'all coming to us live and watching rAVe TV. We do have a lot of news, and we have a special guest, a guest who I have known my entire professional career. I think
that's
most
awesome.
of my professional career, because I think she's younger than me. Wendy Cox, formerly of Daylight, but now part of Legrand, still of Daylight, but now part of Legrand. But really, Wendy was the brains behind. If you ever went and saw Daylight at a trade show, you saw her work. The signage, the planning, the execution, the design, all of it was Wendy's team. And so you know Wendy if you haven't met her yet. I think a lot of you probably have, but so now she's director of product management at Daylight's division, or Legrand's division at Daylight. So she knows screens really well, and she educated me, Steph, before we got on live. Did you know that she educated me? Because we're gonna talk to her about this, because I've had a screen in my house, in my theater, for 21 years, and I look at it as sadly, and I'm in the tech industry, as as I said to her, wallpaper. I didn't think of it as a piece of technology, because she was basically scolding me, rightfully so, that I have not changed my screen in 21 years, which totally is stupid, actually, that I haven't, because when I put that screen in, projectors, we had to put in 0.8 gain and 0.7 gain, meaning not 1-to-1 brightness and contrast ratio, but we actually stepped down the brightness to get a higher contrast ratio by putting in a lower gain screen, because of the lack of contrast ratio and quality images coming from projectors 21 years ago. And projectors have come a long way in 21 years. So yeah, isn't that crazy, Steph?
It is. That screen is old enough to drink legally, Gary. So it's time to.
You know what? I think they should put this screen in a museum, because it has gone through multiple generations of projectors and shown Star Wars probably more than any screen on Earth. It's probably the one.
I believe it.
Yeah, I'm serious. They should send that to Lucasfilm and say, look, this screen has seen Star Wars more than any of your screens in Lucasfilm.
Oh, that's awesome. Wait, I'm really sad because I found out that James Earl Jones died the other day. I found out when I was in the office.
Yesterday, or Tuesday.
That was Monday. Yeah.
Monday he died at 93 years old. And for those of you who don't know and live in a cave, he was the voice of Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker's father. And so, yeah, that's a huge deal. He was the conflict. Like, every story needs conflict,
Yeah.
Mean Girls need a Regina George, or it wouldn't have been interesting. Star Wars,
Yeah.
had Darth Vader, and he was the conflict. He's the menacing force, right? I mean, it's really kind of sad that people are
also the voice of Mufasa in The Lion King.
I don't care about The Lion King. Come on.
Oh,
I think Star Wars is a bigger movie than Lion King.
Not too much on The Lion King. Now that's a good movie. He just has like the loveliest voice to listen to.
When they launched CNN, so for the next 30 years, when CNN would come on, you would hear, "This is CNN." That was James Earl Jones. Everyone heard his voice from the beginning. So yeah, it's a sad day for us Star Wars fans. But hey, we got AV stuff going on too. And Steph, you and I both just came back from Colorado along with the rest of our team, covering CEDIA and CIX. What do you want to talk about regarding that? Because I know you have a couple stories you want to talk about there.
Yes. So the first one is my daily thoughts articles known as the Daily rAVe, and they are known as that because Gary sends out an email every day called the Daily Riff. So together with my daily article, it's Riff Raff, ha, we're funny.
I think we're the only one get that joke, by the way.
What?
I don't think anyone gets that joke. I think we're the only ones. But it's okay. We're amusing ourselves.
We're amusing ourselves, and I'll remind people as often as I have to, and that's fine. But yeah, it's just a little bit about my thoughts walking around the show floor, products I thought were cool, things I haven't seen before, things maybe you haven't seen before. Even if you did go to CEDIA, chances are like you saw different things than I saw, and I saw different things than you saw. So these are just a few of the things I've noticed about like the trends, the cool products and things like that. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. Also, Abby Ashford wrote a piece in which she got to go through all of the audio demo rooms on the show floor, and she writes a little bit about her experience and what she noticed about a few of those brands. So if you couldn't go to the show, these are both like good things to check out and kind of get a sense of what you missed and what brands were really cool. So hope you get a chance to read both of those.
And if you've never been to the show, the audio demo rooms are there because on the trade show floor, you have all this ambient noise. You can't demonstrate why a speaker costs $10,000 and not $1,000 or not $500. So they have a chance. All the audio companies, the amplifier, anybody's in the audio space has an opportunity to demo those products. And her perspective is interesting because she's younger than most of us in the industry. So therefore, I think it's a really neat perspective to have her talk about what she noticed. And I think if I were in marketing, I'd be interested, right? Because she's part of the future of our industry. So I'm really excited to bring Wendy Cox on. I've never had her on our show. She's never been on rAVe TV, but we used to do interviews together all the time. And we haven't done one in a while. And she's going to talk about the Myriad electric screen system. But here's a little, I guess I'd call it a sizzle reel sort of launch video of the Myriad screen. So we're going to go into that, and then we're going to bring on Wendy live. So let's show that video for you. a shine. Hey everyone, this is I'm back. I'm back with Wendy. First off, Wendy, thanks for joining us on rAVe TV.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to see you here. I don't know how long we've known each other, but it's got to be close to 30 years. But you know, I always connect you with Daylight. Like you are Miss Daylight, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I've been with Daylight for a long, long time, so I can understand that association for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, you've done a phenomenal job. You've done a lot for Daylight, as I mentioned to everyone up front. If they ever went and saw your trade show booth, you had a huge impact on all of that. Now you're director of product management for Daylight. That screen obviously looks a little bit familiar, but it's slightly different than what we've seen before. Give us a quick overview of the Myriad electric screen and what sets it apart in the market and with your product category.
For sure. So the Myriad screen system is an all new on-wall or ceiling recessed system. So what's unique is that we're taking all of the same, we're bringing it together as a product family. So the idea is that long-term, we just want to make that selection for a customer easier. They can choose if they want in ceiling or on wall and pick their size and surface and move on. They don't have to remember model names and all of those different things. It's more application based versus series based. But this first launch of the Myriad screen system is the 14 to 16 foot width screen sizes, and it's available in non-tension screens for lower resolution applications and tension screens for the high resolution applications, which is most of what we're doing today. And then it does offer standard drop options or our sightline cable drop feature as well.
Yeah, and that's what looked familiar to me, Steph.
Yeah, is there an ideal customer or a target market for this product? And are there specific environments where it really, really shines?
I think that's the beauty of Myriad, is that it really is a very flexible product. As I mentioned, there's on wall and on ceiling version, and there's a ceiling recessed. So whether you want to conceal it and not have the screen visible at all when you're not using it, or just simply have it blend in with your environment, it works really great in any of those medium to large auditoriums and lecture halls. Houses of worship are great for those types of things. So any of those larger rooms that are going to need that 14 to 16 foot screen width really work well.
All right, and what are some of the key features? Like, what sort of sets it apart from a features and benefits standpoint?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that I'm very excited about is, I mentioned the sightline cable drop feature. So instead of that traditional black drop above your screen, these are very thin cables. You saw that in the video. We've launched that feature a few years ago with one of our product lines that was limited to about 13 foot wide, had lots of demand for larger screen sizes. So now we can go 16 foot there. Plus it gives us an on-wall version of that product as well. So Sightline's a really exciting feature. But when we look at the Myriad Reveal, which is the wall-mounted version, just from an aesthetics perspective, it's really nice because it's got a weight bar at the bottom that is black to blend with that bottom border. But as it comes up, it kind of waterfalls into the case and turns white so that it's completely closed off, and the screen really blends well with your environment. And then with Myriad Conceal, which is the ceiling recessed version, it has a really nice closure door on all versions. So instead of having to choose an upgrade or a more expensive version to get that closure door, when your screen retracts, there's a door that closes so it's completely flush and clean with your ceiling.
I mean, you basically just answered our next question, because those are really neat, uniquely designed features that, the fact that it's black when it's down and white when it's up to conceal it is pretty cool. Are there any other install features that you want to point out?
Oh, absolutely. So, those are more kind of the aesthetics of it. On the install side for Myriad Reveal, one of the things that's really nice that we heard a lot from installers was, because these screens are so large and so, cumbersome to get in the spaces sometimes, is we did create some very easy to install and easy to adjust mounting brackets. So whether it's on the wall or on the ceiling, once you have the screen on the brackets, you can slide them 6 inches left to right to get your centering. But then we also added a 1/2 inch of leveling feature. So if you're not quite level or there's something in your environment that's not, you can adjust the screen without taking the whole thing down, readjusting brackets. It can all be done while the screen is hung. Once you get exactly where you want, you lock it in place and you're good to go. and very similar on Myriad Conceal, the ceiling recessed is there's a channel that runs all the way across the length of the screen. So no matter what's in your ceiling, you can avoid those ceiling obstructions, HVAC, those types of things, and mount it where it's convenient for your ceiling structure.
Very cool. Steph?
Yeah. So as Gary mentioned earlier, his screen has lasted him 21 years. So clearly you guys make products that last a really long time, maybe even longer than they should. But how does Daylight ensure like longevity and durability of this system in particular? Because, there are some high usage environments where people are like putting it up and taking it down quite a bit. So tell me a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, well, first, I think maybe we need to talk to our engineers about that longevity. That
Yeah.
21 years and
Y'all
still
should
going might
just
be a little
break them
too
a little
long.
more
So,
often.
yeah, right. Our replenish rate might need to be a little higher. But no, that is something that we do take a lot of pride in with our our development team is, during our prototyping and pre-production runs, we do a lot of shipping tests. But we also do screen deployment and retraction where we literally run the screen up and down thousands of times. We'll leave it up for weeks at a time and then retract it to be sure that there's no latent issues that way. But there is a lot of testing besides the regulatory UL type of testing and stuff that goes on in our facility before we release a product to be sure that we've got that longevity. And we're comfortable enough with that all of our electric and fixed frame screens have a 5-year warranty from top to bottom, the full product.
Well, you probably don't even need a warranty if it's going to last 21 years.
Right. We could almost say lifetime, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But the last question for you is it's funny because it's ironic actually and funny because 20 years ago, I remember people talking about projectors going away. But what's interesting about that is projectors in, for example, higher education are bigger than ever, right? I mean, the
Yes.
cycle's quicker now. And you can't walk into a classroom that doesn't have projection, but we're doing image mapping. We're doing all sorts of other things with projection. I'm sure that you've got some pretty creative things coming. Any hints you might give us as to what we might see at ISE or coming in 2025?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a really good handful of things coming up. So outside of the electric screen range, we do have a new, what we call parallax thin screen that we're launching at the end of November. And that's a thin bezel fixed frame screen that is utilizing Daylight's parallax ultra short throw material, which is an ambient light rejecting surface. So we're seeing a lot of activity, both in the residential kind of 16:9 and in the commercial more 21:9 for those Microsoft Teams rooms. The environment where those ultra short throw projectors are really coming into play. So the customers that are using those want a sleek, easy to install, easy to ship product. So we're launching that later this year. So that'll be exciting. And then kind of back to the electric screen line, at the beginning of our chat, I alluded to the fact that the Myriad Reveal and Conceal that we just launched are part of a family, a part of a whole solution. So our next launch will come at the end of this year or very early next year, and that is introducing that Myriad screen offering in sizes under 14 foot, so on wall or in ceiling, with that sightline feature and all those easy install and accessibility features. And then towards the end of 2025, we'll finish out that range with that over 16 foot up to 24 foot. So again, excited about that because with our sightline cable drop feature, we do have a lot of demand for that in larger sizes than what we have now. So excited to be able to bring that to market here in the next year or so.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Awesome.
It's nice that you're willing to be honest with us about what you have coming up.
Yep.
I think you're targeting really well because it's interesting. One last thing about that is when Microsoft announced the Teams rooms specification for front row, they literally demonstrated it with a projector. They didn't demonstrate it with an LED or a monitor. They showed it with a projector because they realized how much less expensive and easier it is to do 21:9 with a projector. So projectors aren't going anywhere for those of you who think that projectors are leaving us. But thanks. And thanks. I really appreciate you coming on, Wendy. It's great to see you again. I'm sure we'll see each other at ISE for sure, but maybe before. And congratulations on the product launch.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Wendy.
And we have lots of other news. One of the stories that came out of Cedia, and I had a chance to go by the Control 4 booth, which was in Snap
Oh, I
One,
did
actually.
too.
And yeah, and
They walked me through their whole booth because the Snap One, they got products, and now
they
that they're
do.
with
And
ADI,
Control 4, one of the things they did that was kind of cool, and it's clear to me the vision for Control. I see what they're about to do, because
yeah,
Control 4 has always been this sort of like very high-end residential, meaning even like hotel control
hmm
system, right? That they put in, they would put it all in themselves, and it would be like huge application. But now they've actually, with OS 4, or their new operating system, X4, I should say, they have actually made it where the customer can set up, sort of like you can with Alexa, routines and
hmm
and add widgets to
Yep.
control different parts of your house. We have a video that you shot over at the booth that I think we can show, don't we, Steph? Yeah.
Yep, we sure do.
Emily here with Snap One, part of the ADI Global Distribution family, and at CEDIA 2024, we're thrilled to be showcasing a sneak peek of the new Control 4 X4. So this is the new operating system for Control 4 that will be coming soon. We're really excited about some of the new features and especially customization experiences that are going to be available for end users with this operating system. In addition to making the interface more intuitive and giving end users just a much more fluid experience as they move through the different areas of their installation that they can control, we're also giving them the ability to customize a lot of these experiences as they never have before. Things they may have had to rely on service calls or other support from their integrator partners to make possible. Now our end users are able to do some of those things for themselves, and it just gives them a whole lot more control in that space, and it also gives them a lot more confidence in the product. So we're very excited to be showcasing some initial sneak peeks of X4 here at CEDIA, and there will be plenty more to come on our new operating system in the coming months. And to learn more about this, you can visit control4.com or snapav.com.
Here does. So yeah, so that's cool for them. I predict that they come into the commercial market now, Steph, because with that function. Yesterday I was at the Exertis Almo E4, and they finally, Panasonic, after me talking about it for 2 years, has the it had the Kayros at the show, because I see it as a big platform for esports. And they now that platform is now compatible with VizRT. I never can pronounce that properly. Viz Mozart system for production. So
That's cool.
that story is on our website. And Steph, I know, look, in addition to Legrand, we have Aver and we have Shure. We're both of us using Shure mics here. The three of them have sponsored rAVe TV nearly from the very beginning, and Aver has a new product out there, don't they?
Yes, they wanted us to tell all of you about the company's TR5. This is a dual lens auto tracking camera with 30 times zoom and NDI integration.
Yeah.
So yes, they wanted us to tell you guys about that. The story is on rAVe Pubs, and also if you scan the QR code, you can check out Aver's release about it on their site as well.
And the reason why Steph and I were pausing there is because both of our audio systems are turning on while we're doing that, so we're hearing ourselves repeated. It was kind of weird. I was like, what happened here? I was like, are we showing a video of us showing a video?
Yeah.
But no, we're here live, so that's why things happen, because we're live. Further news, Extron introduced 3 single slot fiber optic receiver modules. That story is on our website. It's for the Fox 3 power cage platform. And of course, if you want to send signals long distances, fiber optics is the way to go. And go ahead, Steph.
Gary, wasn't there a cool fiber optic product at CEDIA CIX that you liked? Did I dream that?
Let me think. Was there one at CEDIA? I think maybe, but I can't remember. There were so many things I saw at CEDIA in a short period of time. But I feel like
I'll find the product video. Don't worry.
Yeah, I will tell you one thing that we are not covering here today, but it'd be worth going to our website for. There's a company called Modern Atomics. So you can go to modernatomics.com. Steph, they have a 24-port network switch that with only 1 watt input. So you can plug in any input with 1 watt of power on it. They can generate up to 90 watts of power from all 24 inputs. It has its own internal power generator, and it
Oh,
stores the power for 3 weeks, not on a battery. And he explains how it all works. And it is patented, and it uses the exact same technology that SpaceX is using to
oh,
power the spaceship that's going to Mars, because they have to store that power for 3 years to go to
yeah.
Mars and back. So it's the exact same technology. He worked on it with SpaceX. He's brought it
Mhm,
into our market. And by the way, it's Michael
mhm,
Barthwaite, who has been in our industry for many years. He started NetStreams, for those of you who might remember NetStreams, which was purchased by
mhm.
Clear One. And so the guy's a genius. We'll have him on to talk about the product when they start shipping the product, but it
Mhm.
is a PoE network switch. That was really cool. I
Yeah,
did tell you about that,
that's
Steph.
cool.
And I also
And we will
saw,
play that. We can play that video next week, and we'll also play it on
let's do
a
it.
replay Cedia.
Let,
So
let's
join us
definitely
for
do it.
that. Yeah,
We should
we'll tell
definitely
you
do
more
that.
about that.
And when I was at the Sony booth, I fell in love with both their two XRD, which is reflective 3 LCD
Mhm.
technology, 4K native laser projectors. So much so that I am going to order a projector 8, which is the entry level one. I don't know if it's entry level,
Yep.
but the lower price one with less brightness, 2500 anti-lumens myself. And it also uses the bRAVe XR video processing, which is incredible. I'm a big fan of the XR processor. And they introduced 2 models that they're calling it Projector 8, Projector 9. They have official numbers, but Projector 8, Projector 9, the difference really is nothing except brightness, 3500 lumens versus 2500 lumens, approximately something in that range. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
That's awesome. I actually went to the press event where they announced both of those projectors. So we
Mhm.
have a couple pictures we can throw up there from the press event. It was quite packed, and it was a 7 a.m. press conference and press event. So really, only like Sony, Samsung, LG, few other companies can pack a press event this tightly at 7 a.m. So I thought that was awesome.
Better serve you breakfast at 7 a.m. stuff.
Oh, they did. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They had breakfast. But yeah, all the press were there. We had just had a late night L Acoustics event. So I think most of us got back from the L Acoustics event at 10 p.m. So then we all showed up at 7 a.m. the next morning. We were like, we're so tired. But it was awesome.
Well, thanks, Shure, also for these microphones, but also being a 3-year sponsor of rAVe TV. We want to show you a piece on the new MXA 902. It's a great demo, so you understand the 902 and how it's different than the 901, and
Yep.
and it is now shipping. So check out this video demo real quick.
Most meeting room audio solutions provide an inconsistent experience where some people sound okay, but others are barely intelligible. The Microflex Advance MXA 902 integrated conferencing ceiling array not only provides superior audio capture with its array microphone, but clear and natural reproduction with its built-in loudspeaker. The result is a more equitable meeting experience for everyone on the call. Listen for yourself.
I'm currently sitting about 6 feet away from a typical all-in-one video conferencing soundbar. And from this distance, I sound okay.
I'm sitting about 12 feet away from the same soundbar. Note that my audio level is lower, my voice is a little bit muffled, and therefore I'm harder to understand.
We're now using the Shure MXA 902 mounted in the ceiling of the room towards the front above the table. I'm sitting about 6 feet away from the microphone.
I'm sitting about 7 feet away from the MXA 902, and therefore my voice quality is very similar to Andrew's. Because the MXA 902 is mounted in the ceiling, it's a very similar distance to all talkers in this room, and the sound quality is consistent.
The MXA 902 has a single zone of automatic coverage and picks up all talkers within a 20 by 20 foot area. The IntelliMix DSP balances the sound and removes room noise and echo.
Remote participants hear all talkers in the room, no matter where they sit. Consistent sound means a more equitable experience for all participants in the call.
The MXA 902 integrated conferencing ceiling array provides superior sound that transforms meetings from tedious events to productive experiences. For more information, contact an authorized Shure reseller.
All right, so Shure, which is this mirror company that has smart mirrors built, or smart TVs built into their mirrors, was at CEDIA, and they have some new ones. I was really impressed with the quality of the image now. I always felt like there was sort of a haze in these smart mirror kind of things, but they have them now up to 94 inches. Now the TV inside of them is not 94 inches, but it looks so much better at this year's CEDIA than I've ever seen them look. So I think that technology is coming.
They have those in like high-end hotels and stuff, and anytime I've been in one, you're right, Gary, it's been like a quite small screen and you can't really tell details. It's just more kitschy than anything else, but now that it's like a good picture and quite clean and crisp, I think it's gonna take off a lot more. And
I would love to have one in my house, but lastly, we have two other quick pieces of news. We'll run through them really quickly. Extron and HETMA have decided to collaborate to bring more tech to higher education. Now, you may remember, Steph, that Extron donated about $25 million worth of gear to higher education. They're really focused on building their exposure to higher education, and obviously HETMA is a way to do that. And then we have two upcoming virtual events. Steph, you want to talk about the first one?
Yeah, so the first one, it's really two. So if you could not attend CEDIA Expo or CIX, we're actually replaying them for you. So we're going to pick some of our favorite product videos. All of our product videos are actually uploaded now. So if you go to ravepubs.com/CEDIA Expo or ravepubs.com/CIX, that will take you to both of those microsites. So Replay CEDIA Expo is going to be September 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then Replay CIX is going to be September 19th, also at 2 p.m. Eastern. So we're going to replay both of those shows. Of course, CEDIA Expo, we're going to have all of those residential products for you. CIX, we're going to more focus on the light commercial, resi-mercial products. So you can come to either one. You can come to both. We'd obviously love to have you. And we're looking forward to showing you some of our favorite products on the floor, because there were quite a few really awesome things. So looking forward to talk about them.
Yeah. And in October, we have launch week 10 coming up.
21st through 24th.
There you go. 21st through 24th with 4 days. You don't have to join for all 4 days. Just go to launch.com, LAVNCH.com, or scan that QR code, sign up, and attend the day you want to attend. This is going to be the first year we have a home AV day, but we're also having an ed tech day. You know, so we're going to have something for everyone. So sign up and get some free CTS credits, 2.5 per day. We're not going to take too much of your time, a few hours each day. And Steph, I look forward to doing that with you. And so enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks.
It's the weekly show about Pro AV with the hottest news in the AV industry. It's rAVe TV. Give it up for Steph and Gary.